CBS and Viacom are back together again after splitting back in 2006. The combined company will be called Viacom CBS. Viacom CEO Bob Bakish will run it, and the new company has 3 different streaming platforms under its belt. CBS All Access, it's got Showtime, and Viacom owns Pluto TV. So the question now becomes, can Viacom CBS compete with Disney, Comcast, NBC Universal, and AT&T's Warner Media, all of which have streaming platforms out or are soon to launch a new one? Bob Bakish says yes. Meanwhile, Shari Redstone, who pushed for this merger for so many years, may also be looking to keep the buying going. Some analysts think that the next target for Viacom CBS could be Sony Pictures, maybe Lionsgate, maybe Discovery, which just recently bought Scripps, or maybe Univision, and that could help the combined company get more into the sports arena. All very interesting, you guys. I was most surprised that the name
I was just going to bring that up.
leads with Viacom.
You were so shocked. Right.
Yes.
Viacom CBS.
Viacom smaller market cap. Viacom not done as well in the last few years as CBS. CBS is the powerhouse. CBS owns Showtime.
Right.
But the one thing that Viacom kind of wins, arguably, in the tie-up is it's Viacom CEO who will run the combined company.
That's probably why Viacom's
although I saw a
CBS
great report
name
yesterday that said that there was quite a lot of back and forth and arguments and drama over that, so much so that CBS CEO Joe Iannello, he won't be CEO, but he will oversee all the CBS assets, but it's apparently a condition of the merger that Bob Bakish cannot fire Joe Iannello. Oh. Only the board can, and any change to his pay has to be approved by the whole board.
Man, this is going to be drama.
Right.
And that's why analysts, investors are saying, what is the plan going forward? We understand you're merging, but how are you actually going to compete with Disney? How are you going to compete even with Netflix? Netflix is smaller than Viacom and CBS combined.
No, Netflix is bigger.
Well, I mean, it's a smaller company. I mean, in terms of being a company, it's a smaller company. It's been around much less time than CBS and Viacom. CBS is much more legacy in the business and everything. Right. But in terms of value, you're right. Netflix has much bigger value. So it's like, what is their plan for competing in the streaming business? Now, people are talking about possible acquisitions. Possibly they'll buy
ahead of themselves.
Right. But at the same time, you've got these 2 massive CEOs, and now you've got one on top of the other. And how's that going to all work out in terms of day-to-day operations?
I'll tell you what'll happen first. Cuts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
$500 million worth of cost cuts.
That's what the company says.
How are they going to do that?
And an analyst note this morning suggests that actually we see more like $1 billion in synergies.
But I mean, we talk about the streaming wars all the time, and I'm so excited for this Disney Plus to hit, because that's going to be a true test for all of these companies, Warner Media, like you mentioned earlier, and also the likes of Netflix and this company as well. I mean, they do have MTV and a lot of like Nickelodeon.
Comedy Central,
but
Paramount.
Is that enough? Is that enough to stand up against the behemoth, which is Disney, right?
Right.
That's the $1 million question.
I'm very bullish on Disney Plus.
Even if Disney Plus is super successful, that doesn't mean that's going to be good for everybody else. I mean, they could just crush everybody else, and that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to follow in their footsteps.
Quite the opposite. I do not think this is a rising tide lifts all boats situation. Now, that being said, I don't think we're yet at the point where it's a zero-sum game either. People will keep a handful of OTT subscriptions, but I do think soon we'll hit a point where instead of being happily willing to add more, people start to think about, wait a minute, I'm paying for this, and they start to cut. They start to think, which one can I cut? You can't cut Netflix. No one's going to cut Netflix. Hulu, maybe you stop paying for Hulu. Well, Amazon you're not going to cut, because if you get Prime, there's a lot more in that. You know, Prime, it's almost an unfair comparison because it's not a video-only subscription. You get the video stuff if you pay for Prime. So you're not going to cut Prime. So what will you cut? Maybe if you're someone who's paying for Sony PlayStation Vue, you cut that. Maybe you cut Sling TV, which is the dish service, but you're not going to just keep adding ad infinitum.
Nope. Yeah, and there's even been talk that possibly Amazon could acquire the new Viacom CBS company.
Or Disney, someone, yeah. We're busy talking about what Viacom CBS might buy. Maybe someone buys Viacom CBS.